Good morning, All Saints. It is Monday morning, the 10th of August. I'm glad to be back with you this morning. I hope that you all had a restful weekend. We had our second outdoor in-person worship yesterday. It filled me with great joy, and I look forward to seeing many more of you in the weeks to come as we continue to experiment with being safe as we gather together. Over the weekend, many of us in the Christian community, many of us were taken aback by a column that appeared in the New York Times, a report that had the headline, "Christianity Will Have Power." And it was apparently something that the president said in a campaign speech in Iowa back in 2016. Christianity will have power. And the Jesus that I follow was not about power. In fact, Jesus wanted nothing to do with Rome's power. As Paul says in his letter to the Philippians, Christ did not regard equality with God as something to be exploited, but instead emptied himself, taking on the form of a servant. And I'm talking about that this morning because today is the commemoration of St. Laurence, who died on this date in the year 258. It was in one of the Roman persecutions. And the interesting thing about St. Lawrence, there are many legends about St. Lawrence, but one of the interesting ones is that when he was arrested, he was offered his freedom if he would turn over the wealth of the church. Apparently, he was the financial officer, and so he said, "Well, I need 3 days to gather it." And so he went and gave the wealth, the money, to trusted stewards, and then gathered the poor and the lame and the sick and brought them all to the judge and said, this is the wealth of the church. And he was immediately martyred. He was burned alive. You often see saints bearing their instruments of torture in icons and depictions of them, and he was roasted on like a barbecue. And so if you see pictures of him, he's holding a gridiron. It is always fascinated me how martyrs, you can usually tell how they died by what they're holding or what is present with them. So St. Lawrence brought the wealth of the church, which was the impoverished. And so the idea that Christianity will have power, that's not what we're about. We're about caring for the least and the lost and being good neighbors and loving God and taking care of one another. We're not about power. And so that is where I am this morning. That's what I'm thinking about. I would love to hear from you if you have thoughts about this. I'm always available by phone or email. That information is on our website. And I hope that you have a good week ahead, and I will be back again tomorrow. God bless you all.